Hello, everybody. This is John Paval here with a special edition for Access Arts Live to tell you about a raft of contemporary composition live streams going on this week that I want you all to know about. There was no way to fit them in with the other live streams reports that we were doing, and because there's so much of them, the fall season is upon us. And everything is exploding around us with, and so this week, starting yesterday already, there are a series of live streams from Roulette Intermedium Theater in New York City, specialist in avant-garde music, from composers Concordance, Gene Pritzker and this merry band of music makers, and from Constellation Chicago, which has a fabulous program going on with a really high-profile composer. I'm going to be telling you all about that in just a minute. That composer's name is Lisa Lim, and if you follow contemporary classical compositions, well, she's really top-of-the-line contemporary composer from Australia, but she's all over the place now in Europe and this weekend, this Sunday, in Chicago. So lucky you if you're up for doing some live streaming, because people pay, most of these live streams are going to be free of charge, whereas people will be paying $30, $40, $50 or euros to attend them in person. So let's get on to the first one. Let me stop wasting time. But wait. Before I go any further, I have to say, if you're watching this clip on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching on any of our other platforms, we urge you to follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and or LinkedIn, so that we can continue making sure that you get more than 1,000 live links to live performances online in the coming year. We did that in last year. We're doing it again now. The stuff is pouring in. And I don't think you want to miss it. At least you don't want to miss all of it. So now I can move on to the first of these pieces that I want to tell you about. Let's start with this guy. Well, wait, actually, there are two of them. So let me get both of them on screen for you separately. Peter Evans and Arun or Ramamurthy. And where is my notes aren't even open yet, folks, because I've just been so excited about doing this that here they are. Now I've got my notes. Wednesday, October 1st, Roulette Intermedium live streams violinist Arun Ramamurthy playing Southern Indian classical Carnatic music, and trumpeter composer Peter Evans improvising on brass instruments. I'm going to do that again in case I pull a clip out of this. Wednesday, October 1st, Roulette Intermedium live streams violinist Arun Ramamurthy playing Southern Indian classical Carnatic music, and trumpeter-composer Peter Evans improvising on brass instruments. That'll be at 8 o'clock in the evening, Eastern Daylight Time, 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 2 o'clock in the morning over here in Europe. I'm in Paris, that's where I'm doing this, and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, down under in Australia, because Australia currently is 8 hours ahead of us in Europe. Who is Arun Ramamurthy? He's a Brooklyn-based what they call a creative violinist. And he apparently specializes in South Indian Carnatic music. He has some ensembles he's worked with, the Arun Ramamurthy Trio. He has a duo with his wife, the violinist Trina Basu, called Nakshatra. And he was a founding member of another group called Brooklyn Raga Massive, which is, they call it a genre-bending musicians nonprofit, inspired by the classical music of South Asia. which is what he's involved in. He's done artistic residencies at Oberlin Conservatory, at Brooklyn College's Jazz and Big Band program, at Yale University, and at Sarah Lawrence. So he's been around. Now, the other guy, and of course, he's in the smaller picture, but the big number in this live stream is actually Peter Evans, who is a composer, trumpet player, improviser, band leader. He's been in New York for about 20 years, since 2003. He leads several ensembles there, Being and Becoming, a trio called Extra, a collaborative trio called Pulverize the Sound. And he does a lot of work with other people. But he also has 7 albums of solo music out in the last 20 years. His works have been commissioned by the International Contemporary Ensemble, by Wet Ink, by the Donaueschingen Musiktage Festival, the Jerome Foundation's Emerging Artist Program, and then and the Doris Duke Foundation. So this should be this is going to be, we don't have more details on the actual pieces they're going to play, but what I can tell you is this is going to be now music. Now, happening now. Which is what I like. I'm not saying that I always like what it sounds like. What I'm saying is I like to know that people are creating in our time, whether I like it or not. And whether we like it or not, you know, in earlier times, most of what was composed in the past, we don't know anything about it. You know, we have the best of it, the tip of the iceberg. Well, a lot of this contemporary stuff, yeah, it's not the best of it. It's not the tip of the iceberg, you know, but without the bottom of the iceberg, there's no tip. It's all part of the process. So anyway, so let's move on to this next one. And I have these African masks here because this is how these guys identified themselves to begin with. Thursday, October 2nd, Roulette Intermedium live streams the percussion trio Onilu, playing their own works with Afro-cultural roots, along with an album release performance by woodwinds man Ned Rothenberg. That, again, it's always the same time at Roulette. It's at 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern Daylight Time, and corresponding times on the West Coast and in Europe. Onilu consists of 3 guys, Joe Chambers, Kevin Deal, and Daniel Villarreal, and they're all percussionists. And but you know, percussion isn't just drums; it also includes the melodic things you can do on a xylophone and things like that, and marimbas and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure how they all got together, but I do know that Kevin Deal was the one who set up Onilu's first record. Kevin Deal is a U.S.-born Yoruba priest and cultural practitioner, we're told. And Joe Chambers and Chad Taylor, before they got together with Deal, were already involved in music composition and improvisation in the percussive side of the musical arts. So their debut album was recorded in 2023. And it was called Onilu, and they have and it was released again on the Eremite record label in February of this year. So that'll be percussion, folks. And but they're also into contemporary improvisation. So you get the African cultural roots plus improvisation, and that's not unlike something that's going on very much in other forms of music and Western music. An awful lot of people that are interested in very contemporary music are also interested in very early music. They're bookending all the classical music that came in between the very beginnings and now. So, and then the opening act is going to be Ned Rothenberg. I can show you his photo here too. Clutching clutching a horn. And Ned Rothenberg, he's a wind and brass expert. And he has a solo album that's come out, Looms and Legends, on Pyroclastic Records. And to open this Thursday evening at the Roulette Intermedium, he will be doing a record release set of music from that album. Okay, now we have one more by Roulette Intermedium this week. I want to tell you about. It's about a guy. It's about a guy who stutters, and he's not ashamed to let you know. All right, are you up for doing some deep listening? Friday, October 3rd, Roulette Intermedium live streams Jerome Ellis, the stuttering Afro-Caribbean composer, poet, and performing artist who works on transcendence, communion, and deep listening. And I'm not making fun of him when I say Jerome. That's how he spells his name, with 5 J's. And he describes himself in the program notes as a stuttering composer, etc. So he'll be doing oral storytelling, improvisation. He does soundscapes using saxophone, flutes, dulcimers, electronics, and vocals. He has scored plays and podcasts. He has albums out. His work has been presented or developed by places like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Sundance Institute Theater Lab, and the Lincoln Center, where he is actually currently a writer in residence. He's had a Fulbright Fellowship to research samba performances, done a lot of sound designing, and he got a BA in music theater and ethnomusicology from Columbia University. So, but again, this is, instead of giving us a list of what's going to be played, this is now music. And Jerome Ellis is going to play whatever he likes, but it will be in that area of those kind of values that I've just been telling you about, because that's what interests the guy. Pretty incredible. I mean, really. Check it out. So that's 3 terrific nights, and actually there was a 4th night by that I didn't get around. I wasn't able to tell you about it in time. It was on Tuesday night, last night. Sonia Belaya did a piece called Yazik, dedicated to her mother, which was about the whole immigrant experience and alienation and well, you can check it out. I'm sure that, well, I'm not sure if they retain the recordings of these live streams at all. I cannot promise you that. And I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but I can't get to everything, folks. I mean, it is overwhelming, the flood of work that's coming out. So let's move on then to Composers Concordance. Gene Pritzker's Merry Man of Music Makers. Okay. And it's a New York kind of thing. Have a virtual night out at the Ellington Room of the Manhattan Plaza, Friday, October 3rd, as Composers Concordance live streams the Evan Francis, Steve Sandberg wind instrument piano duo, playing new works by a host of composers. Whatever Pritzker does is absolute now music, and Gene Pritzker is the guy who runs Composers Concordance. This will be at 7 o'clock Friday night in New York, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 1 in the morning here in Europe, and 9 o'clock Saturday morning down under in Australia. Evan Francis plays the flute, clarinet, and saxophones. Steve Sandberg is the pianist, whom we're told is a piano phenom. And as a special guest, they have a double bass player, Frank Wagner. They'll be playing selected works by Dan Cooper, Evan Francis himself, Eugene McBride, Gene Pritzker, of course, Steve Sandberg, the pianist, and Frank Wagner himself. So both all three, Francis, Sandberg, and Wagner, will be playing some of their own works. And I would expect there to be a fair measure of improvisation in this mix. This is the 42nd season of Composers Concordance. If you haven't discovered it, well, discovering it in the confines of the Ellington Room at Manhattan Plaza is a pretty high-end way of discovering them. So if you want to hear now music, now, this is it. Okay. Well, I have one more to tell you about, and this one, I tell you, I think they've really outdone themselves at Constellation Chicago. I don't mean to throw any shade at them over this, but this is, and they have very often they have local performers, people from the Chicago area who are, it's all well and good. They're contemporary artists and composers and performers, and that's terrific. But they've got Lisa Lim here, and she's like, well, I'll tell you about her in a minute after I do the announcement. Australian avant-garde compositions come to Chicago Sunday, October 5th, as Constellation Chicago live streams internationally known Australian composer Lisa Lim and a host of singers and musicians playing a wide variety of her compositions. That's at 8:30 in the evening on Sunday, October 5th, 9:30 Eastern time, 3:30 in the morning here in Europe. I don't know if anybody will stay up late for that, but 11:30 in the morning down under in Australia, Monday morning. But some people might want to stay up late. I give you the link to Lisa Lim's website because she's absolutely top of the line. Last year, she was commissioned by the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra to compose a piece for solo cello and orchestra, and she called it A Suture World. And it was premiered with cellist Nicholas Alstate. Nicholas Alstate was leading the Tapiola Sinfonietta last week, a week ago Monday, in a live stream that we told you about. Folks, if you're just discovering this, if you're not subscribed or following us to make sure you get them, you're missing so much. This is everything that's happening. So anyway, and then they premiered that piece, of Sutured World, with the Bavarian Radio Symphony, which is top of the line. And then they did 3 concerts with the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra. And she's done. She's been composer in residence at the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra down in Australia. And also this year, though, she was named composer in residence at the Casa da Musica in Porto, Portugal. I've been to Porto, Portugal. It's a nice place. It's on the sea. Her best-known work is called Extinction Events and Dawn Chorus from 2018, but she's been commissioned by a lot of top orchestras around the world. And she teaches. She has this what's called the Sculthorpe Chair of Australian Music at the Sydney Conservatorium. So her music is published by Ricordi in Berlin, and she's based in Australia, but getting commissions in Europe, working with top of the line musicians like Nicolas Alstate and the Royal Concertgebouw, and now Constellation Chicago snagged her for that. Chapeau, great. Anyway, I'll give you the names of some of the pieces she's doing just to show you the variety. There's a piece called Chang O, which will be performed by Tai Bouquet, who's baritone, and Kyle Flens on percussion. There's a piece called Luminescence, Bioluminescence, that'll be played on the flute by Sasha Ishov. A piece called Invisibility, played on the cello by Graham Drennan. Axis Mundi, played on the bassoon by Ben Roydell Ward. Lucid Dreaming, again, Sasha Ishov on the flute. Boat Song, sung by Tai Bouquet, the baritone, et cetera, et cetera. So this is going to be, she's going to be having fun getting people performing all these different kinds of smaller pieces that she's written. as distinct from a cello concerto with Nicholas Alstate. But I think this cracks up to be a fascinating evening. And if you're interested in new composers, and some people would be interested because she's a woman composer. There are so many around now that we're going to reach the point we don't have to say woman composer anymore. There'll just be so many of them. But for those of you who have a particular interest in that, this is a top woman composer, internationally thriving. So, folks, that's what we have for you for this week. I had to do an entirely separate 20-minute live stream just to tell you a little bit about these. And this is just a slice. Monday, we gave you the orchestral and operatic live streams, and the Vienna State Opera is doing another free opera on Sunday, and they're top of the line. They're one of the top opera companies in Europe. And there's all kinds of chamber music. March Vivo is back doing 3 things, and St. Mary's Perryvale is continuing. The Kennedy Center has 3 great chamber music live streams this week. It just piles up. There's more and more, and dependable chamber music or early music people like Midtown Concerts in New York City are up and running again. So it's all happening. And then there are all the organ recitals too. There's so much going on this week. I hope that one or any of these live streams inspires you, uplifts you, or just shows you a heck of a good time. And some of these contemporary things have got to do that for you. All right. Let me remind you once more before I go. Let me put back up the picture of all of these performers for this week. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching this on any of our other platforms, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live. Do yourself a favor. We're on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn. And we will make sure that you get more than 1,000 live links to live quality performances online in this coming year. I'll say ciao for now. I'll probably be back Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening, European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, to tell you about the weekend highlights and about some of these orchestras which don't announce their live streaming until the day of. So there will be more to come. Ciao for now.